You know, I haven't reviewed a Tarte palette on my channel, I don't think ever. This palette just kind of caught my eye. I mean, fall is my favorite season, and then spring, and this palette came out and I was like, oh, really reminds me of fall. So I'm like, alright, let me check it out, see what it's like. I just kind of remember Tarte's formula being, it was just okay. It wasn't anything that just wowed me. So I'm really curious and excited to see what this palette's about. So this is the Maneater After Dark palette. I have to be honest, I don't really care for the box. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like. I will put some footage down below or on the screen here of me swatching it. 24 shades, really beautiful fall colors. When I was swatching them, they felt really soft and buttery. Some of them, the lighter colors, honestly, well, no, sorry, not the lighter colors, the darker colors felt a little bit dry. So I'm curious to see what that is like. But I like the fact the way they laid this out. It seems really user-friendly. You can do a look by row. And as you'll see, I swatched them by row. This palette looks upside down right now because I don't want to blind you with the mirror, but I start here. But you can do it in this row here, which is like your pinkier, mauvier tones. This one here is super fall vibes. This one's like golden goddess, bronze goddess. And this one is just kind of a mixture of all of them. But if you don't really know where to look to put together a look, you can actually just go by row, which I think is really kind of cool. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do today. I know I'm going to do at least one look for you guys. Interestingly enough, this is a fall palette and I'm super excited because it's a fall looking palette. But y'all, it is like 106 degrees out here today. So I'm doing a fall look and it's hot as hot. Anyways. Okay guys, so my eyes are primed and I'm really just trying to think about what look to do today. I love pinks and I usually do kind of pink or brown, but I'm thinking I'm gonna challenge myself and do something in the second row, which are these a bit more golden tones. So yeah, see how that works out. Alright you guys, let's jump into this look. Alright you guys, so picking up my Morphe Ariel A14 brush, I'm just gonna dive right into this. So I'm going into the color Desire. I'm going to place this in my transition area and then blend it on out. Let's see. Alright, so taking my Morphe Ariel A20, can't see, 5, I'm going into the color Passion and I'm going to really place this, focus this in the crease, stamp it in first, all along the crease. And then once I get a good, go all the way across, but once I get a good amount of pigment, then I'm going to take it and slowly blend it up. Not too high. You know what? I like that so far. I will say I'm just taking my brush and color switching it off because I'm going to use it for the next color. But I will say that this palette is really user-friendly, and if you like to take your time, because you definitely need to build these up if you want to get it a little bit more pigment. It could be my skin tone, but I will say that. So I'm taking the same brush, I just took the color off. It's the A25 Morphe, and I'm going into the color Alluring. And I'm going to focus this really just in the crease. Bring a little bit more definition and depth to this, and just do windshield wiper motions just to get that in that crease. And I start to wing it out a little bit. I'm kind of liking that color a lot. So now just with the clean blender brush, I'm just going to go ahead and go around these edges just to diffuse them and blend it in just a bit more, soften the edges. Okay, so now with the flat shader brush, it's the Morphe Ariel A29. I'm going into the color Nightfall. Trust me here, you guys. I'm going to place this all over the lid. a shimmer on top, but I wanted a dark base just to make that shimmer pop a little bit more. I like that. So now with my finger, once I wipe it on my pants, you know, I'm going into the color Sundown. Ooh, that's a lot. I'm going to take a little bit off and place this right over that color. All over the lid. Alright, that's looking pretty basic. I kind of want to see if I can push it a little bit more. So I took the color Heated, put it on my finger. I'm going to place this in the outer third of my lashes. Outer third of my lid. And just tap that over a little bit to the center. Let's start on the lower lash. So I'm taking my Morphe Ariel A7 brush and I'm going into the color Alluring. I'm going to place this all along the lower lash. Work that into the lashes. And bring it up to the top just a bit. Wrap it around. With my Morphe Ariel A25 brush, I'm going to go into the color Desire and just kind of buff this all along the bottom. With my Morphe Ariel A18 brush, I'm going into the color Charming. Let's take a little bit and use this as a brow bone highlight. Just a little bit. Alright guys, so this is the look. I don't really see a color in here that I would use for my inner corners, so I'm probably going to use a highlighter for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on some eyeliner and mascara and I'll be right back. I am back, you guys, with the final look. Real quick, to finish it off, I used the Melt Cosmetics Cacao Pencil. I think I said that right. There's barely any left. I love this thing. I just kind of smudged it along the bottom and then the top. And then, oh, for highlighter, I'm not sure if you can still get this, but it's Revolution Pro, the Marilyn Monroe collection, so this box. And I use this as my inner corner highlight, and I put a little bit on the top for my brow bone. So for my lips, I used the Rare Beauty Kind Words lipstick in the color Wise, so I use this color here. And then I just put a little bit of gloss in the center just to make it sparkle so it's not completely matte. And what else did I do? Oh, so for highlighter, I kind of wanted to bring back this sort of glossy, glow, dewy type thing. So I used my Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm in the color Hot Water. So this really beautiful shade here. You see that? I use that as highlighter all on my face. And then for blush, this may surprise you the color, but I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of warmth to my cheeks, so I used a cool color for that actually. It's the MAC Glow Play Blush in the color Rosie Does It, so this one here. And just added a little bit on my cheeks. So for my thoughts on my first impression of this palette. Okay, so the things that I liked about this palette, I liked that the mattes were easy to blend, just not a problem at all. It was just such a dream. I love the color story. I love that you get all of these colors. I think this palette is for someone who likes to take their time blending. I'm not quite sure about how all of the colors would fit for someone my skin tone or deeper. I didn't use clearly all of the colors, but I used quite a few, and I found that I had to build and build and build to get some pigmentation, which half a dozen. If you want a palette that gives you the pigmentation right away, this is not it. If you don't mind blending it, there you go. Now for the challenges I had, I think that for Tarte, this is much better than the palettes I've had in the past. Let me say that. I found that the shimmers, they fall on your face, and I even use my finger, which is supposed to help them adhere a little more, so I would have to play around a little bit more and possibly like wet the brush, glitter glue, things like that to get them to adhere, but they fell all over my face. I just found them really to be kind of flaky, which I didn't too much care for. And then on top of that, you know, truthfully, this palette is, I believe it's like $52, and I don't think it's worth it. I think that, you know, just to be completely truthful here, like if you want to spend $52 on a palette, you can spend a couple more and get a Natasha Denona, or you can spend $52 on a palette that may not have as many colors, but the formula for both the mattes and the shimmers is on point. It'll maybe show up if you have a deeper skin tone or my skin tone. So I don't think that this palette is worth that price. For Tarte, it is a better palette, but I personally won't see myself really reaching for this. With that being said, again, you know, the positives are it's a nice color range. It's better for Tarte. The mattes are really not that bad. The metallics, I'd have to play around a little bit more to see about the other ones, but from what I used today, those are my thoughts on this palette. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, follow me on Instagram, Christina Sheree. I would love to grow both here and there, so if you're so inclined, please go ahead and check me out on Instagram. And the last thing I gotta say is thank you so much for your time. You know, I love doing these videos. Thank you for spending some time with me. Whatever time it is for you, I am so appreciative that you gave me some of it. Leave a comment down below if you love this palette, if you're planning on picking it up. Just love your thoughts. I love, you know, having I love talking to you guys in the comments. But so I am going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you so much. Whatever time it is for you, morning, noon, or night. As always, thanks for giving me some of it. Bye.